Hello everyone, my name is Evan and you are watching Villaging. On this channel, we earnestly examine all of the things that have to do with holiday villages. And since you're watching this video, make sure that you smoosh that like button so that YouTube shares our villaging videos with others. On this episode of Villaging, we are going to review a licensed piece from Department 56. It's Jack Skellington's house from their Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas line. See, I was actually lucky enough to see The Nightmare Before Christmas when it came out in theaters. I was in high school and honestly, I just didn't get it. It was weird and sometimes downright creepy, but the stunning images on the screen made quite the impression on me. And as I've grown in age, wisdom, and humility, I've come to a greater appreciation of this wonderful breakthrough in stop-motion animation and filmmaking. And it's a movie that my family and I watch every year. Regardless of whether you believe Nightmare Before Christmas is a Halloween movie or it's a Christmas movie, Jack Skellington's house deserves a closer look. The Jack Skellington's House with Jack and Sally is a three-piece resin village set from Department 56, and it was released in 2017. The set starts with Jack's house that is protected in front by a rock wall and a wrought iron fence. To the right of the gate, we find a lit jack-o'-lantern, its wide open mouth allowing tons of light out into the dark Halloween town world. The front gate looks to have been crafted in honor of the Pumpkin King himself, as we can make out what appears to be the face of a carved pumpkin. Standing on top of the posts that hold the gate are two arched back statues. I'll level with you, I have no idea what these are. The arched back and pointed tail resemble a frightened black cat, but it looks to have the curved neck and beak of a flamingo, and one has spikes on its head, so I guess it's the punk rocker of the two. I don't know. Anyway, moving past this perplexing pair, we climb the steep staircase up to the house itself. Jack's home is built on a sturdy foundation of large, flat stones that also help to create a covered patio space for Jack and Zero to look out from. The front of the house consists of the front door and covered patio, a lit half-circle window, another covered porch space with a lit opening, and a final dimly lit window. Moving around to the right, we simply find one lit window, although I'm intrigued at the odd shape of Jack's house when looked at from this perspective. In the back is a solitary 4-panel lit window, and more of the strangely shaped architecture leading up to the green-blue shingled roof. On the final side of the house, we see a single tree and a wall that mirrors the opposite side of the house, with its single lit window. Up on the roof, we see a steeply arched unlit window, and the stovepipe-shaped tower that contains Jack's lit-up bedroom space. There are also two figures that come with this set from Department 56, Jack, the Pumpkin King himself, and his stalker girlfriend, Sally. The Jack figurine is tall and thin with a sturdy base. Zero, the ghost dog, is attached to Jack's hip, as all good dogs are, and it appears as though Jack is reciting Shakespearean quotation, but he's using a small pumpkin as a prop instead of his own head. The Sally statuette is seated on a sturdy base, wrapped by a short rock fence. On her patchwork dress nestles a container labeled Deadly Nightshade, and she's clearly harvesting more of the toxic herb for the next time that she wants to poison Dr. Finkelstein. The build quality on this set is very good, and certainly on par with what we've come to expect from Department 56. I understand that there are a couple of camps when it comes to resin village houses, partially because of the plastic's tendency to pass unwanted light through the walls of the holiday buildings. That was an issue that I found with my Happy Halloween house review, and there is some light spillage through the walls of Jack's house. However, in this instance, I don't think it detracts from the piece. Here, you can see light bleeding through, but with a worn and cracked wall such as this, you'd expect to see some light coming through the gaps, so I think it works. The house is lit by LED lights, one in the main section of the house, one in Jack's room, and one in the pumpkin out in front of the gate. The lighting is very subtle, perhaps bordering on a little too subtle. But the light coming from the jack-o'-lantern is powerful enough to project shadows of pumpkin teeth across the room. And because the building is lit by LED, you must use the supplied AC adapter. The paint on the building itself is pretty subdued, but all of the Halloween Town buildings in the movie were that way, so that's kind of the spot Department 56 was stuck in. I do find appealing the slight tinge of teal on the shingles and the front steps, and I really liked the reddish copper of the pumpkin and statues, making them look metallic. But seriously, what the heck are these things? I wonder if these are gifts from some of Jack's adoring fans, and he felt obligated to display them so that the gift giver wouldn't feel offended. Like, was this the result of the undersea gal's art class at night school? Like, she doesn't know really what a cat looks like, but she's seen a flamingo before, and this is the horrible outcome? Sorry, that was a bit of a tangent. The figurines is where the paint really shines. You can see the thin lines in Jack's suit, and there really aren't any overruns to speak of. The Sally figure is really gorgeous, with the color of her patchwork dress really popping against her pale skin. Detail work, once again, is Department 56's wheelhouse. They did an admirable job of using forced perspective to make this building look as enormously tall as Jack's place in the movie. The weather vane and piping are also very similar to the movie house. The wood grain of the walls and shingles on the house contrast nicely with the rock and ground texture below. Jack's skeleton hand appears to have individual bones, and there are teeth in his skeleton head. Sally is so intricate that you can see her individual stitches, the ones in her dress and in her body. She even wears a slightly worried expression on her face, as if she knows she could get in trouble for what she's doing, but she's still gonna get that nightshade. Ultimately, this is a quality set of 3 pieces from Department 56. The building itself is very tall with a pleasing roughness. The Sally figure is mesmerizing with all of its details. And Jack, even though he's so thin I'm afraid I might snap him like a twig when I pick him up, brings a smile to my face every time that I see him. I give Jack Skellington's house from Department 56 8 out of 10 pumpkins. Until next time, my fellow villagers, enjoy your villaging. And remember to hang on to those original boxes.